then what would you say submission looks like?
I think that submission looks like yielding. Like so you know that we are equally, or you have a way, you have an opinion. However, I yield to your opinion and the way that you are seeking to serve our family in this situation.
Yeah.
Um, Especially when there's a difference of opinion, because there's not a need for submission if there isn't a difference of opinion. And so to me, that's what it looks like. As saying, hey, yes, I have an ability, I have an opportunity, I have, um, the wherewithal, the knowledge, whatever, but I'm laying all that aside because of the position that you have and your responsibility. And I'm saying, I'm going to yield mine for yours.
Yeah, and just as far as like how it works, also just doing what benefits the family the best. And when you do have those opposing positions, that nothing happens until you can find common ground to then move forward. Ultimately, what happens is it's like, I have this thought, she may have that thought, and she'll leave it in my lap to ultimately make the decision at the end of the day. Um, and that's what the submission looks like. But it's on me to not move forward until we can come into some type of agreement, understanding, and a plan on how we're going to move forth. So if we're just completely like, no, I don't agree with that, I don't agree with that, then we're not doing nothing until the Lord comes in and gives us the direction that we need. So we're under the ultimate submission of Christ first. So we need to hear what the Father is telling us to do. That's why when we come into conversations, I say, here's my thoughts and here's how I feel. I don't come into the conversation and God told me that we need to do this. Because then she's gonna be like, then we need to do what God says. It don't matter how she feel about it. But her knowing me, knowing that sometimes I might say something and that sounds like a Vic flesh thing rather than a Vic's submitted to the Lord type of thing. Right. So I have that understanding that she has that understanding of who I am. And then I also have the respect of her opinion, her brain, and her personal relationship with the Lord to come to her with certain things, even if I know her answer is going to be something that I don't want to hear.
Because I find that the discussion of authority and submission is lacking. You know, people don't understand what it is. Like you see a lot of, when you hear men talking about their headship or whatever, it's I tell her what to do. And it's,
Mm,
no, that's a bully. That's a you know what I
yeah.
mean. That's not, it's not that you always tell her what to do. Again, there should be some compassion, some wisdom. Sometimes she might have a better idea than you. I think we talked about somebody who just, in our meeting, we talked about a guy who just don't listen to his woman. Like,
Hmm.
I don't want to hear what she has to say. And it's like, bro, but her, and what I find funny is most times that's when God will talk the most to that woman,
Yep.
and don't talk to you at all. And you wonder
To
why your
test you.
plans are falling apart. And she's sitting there like, I got the solution. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? But because you are so, I don't want to hear what she has to say. Because you think it takes away from your leadership, your you being a good leader doesn't mean you have all the answers. You know where to go to get the answers. That's what that is. It's not that you have it all, because nobody has all the answers unless you're God. Um, but you got, the Bible talks about surrounding yourself with wise counsel and things of that nature. That getting counsel. So there's always a need to hear from somebody else. She's your helpmate. You know what I mean? If she's in a good place, her only desire is to make sure that you succeed so that we succeed.
Hmm.
You know, so she won't tell you something that will intentionally lead you in the wrong direction. That would just be counterproductive to whatever you are trying to build. You know what I mean? And then women have this misunderstanding of what submission is, so they fight it. I ain't submitting to nobody. You know, I submit to him if he show me he worthy. All these things that they say. Now you need to have a submissive spirit. Now there's a level of wisdom required for that too, because if you realize that he's blind, like the blind lead and the blind, they both fall into the ditch. If you realizing that he's blind, because you might want to say, "Whoa, I don't think you know where we're going. Let's stop right here." You don't have to fall in the ditch with him. Your submission. Though, I came from well, I don't want to say that like that, but we would hear stories about women being abused, and the advice to them was, "Stay with him, keep praying, stick it through." Like, no, get out. You can pray for him from a safe distance. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And stay there while he gets the help, whatever. Now, if God leads you back to him, cool. But only after he done turned his life around and things of that nature. But telling women to stay in abusive situations and because that's submission to your man. No, no. Again, some level of wisdom is required. You know what I mean? I always saw it as a thing of if you could imagine a woman who was heavily armed with all kind of guns and things and profession and know how to use every last one of them, then she turns to her general, her husband, and says, "Okay, which way do I shoot?" That's what that is. She's just taking her power and putting it under his leadership. Her ability now as a good leader, you should know what you have, and most oftentimes, especially in a kind of struggle situation where there's problems, you don't even know the type of woman that you have.